Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is the Nike Pegasus 37. So I am not a runner by any means, but I have been running quite a bit, especially since the quarantine started. I want to, keep my cardio up, want to be, stay healthy and stuff. So I've been running a good amount, and that'll probably start to go down once I start, playing ball again. So yeah, I got this shoe in, and of course, like I said, I'm not a runner, I'm not a professional or anything. So this is more just a casual review of the Pegasus 37, and I have quite a few Nike runners, and this is more just like a casual Nike runner. This is the Pegasus 35, I believe. This is the one with the full-length zoom, and I believe this is full-length Cushlon, and I have the Zoom Fly from a couple years ago, which is full-length Lunarlon. And I love Nike runners because they're just so comfortable, especially just walking around in it. Like, the cushion is insane. I don't know what they do, but they just keep the cushioning super thick in the running shoes. And the materials are super thin as well and very, very well ventilated, so it's really good for the summer. So I just love wearing these out casually. If I'm going out, to go eat or walk my dogs or whatever, I put like a running shoe on, and that's just what I wear, Especially now, it clocked in at like 98 degrees yesterday, and then the other day was like 104 degrees outside, so it was super hot, and I love the good ventilation and all that from these shoes. So the Pegasus 37 is going for 120 bucks. I would say for a running shoe, that's around average, and if you guys do want to get it, I'll leave a link in the description box. I got this gray colorway. There are quite a few colorways coming out. Let's get started off with the traction, and the traction is pretty similar to the Pegasus 35, and you have some like little square pegs, and you have a little bit of separation, a little bit of articulation here in the forefoot, as well as this line that goes through the outsole, long ways, I guess. And there's no rubber here in the middle of the heel. And then here on the lateral side, you have some like darker, like black rubber. The rubber is quite thick and it's really hard, so durability seems good. I mean, 35, I wear these like a lot, and there's not a lot of wear on it actually, so durability seems pretty damn good. And as far as the heel to toe transition goes, they do this a lot, especially in their Zoom Flies. This heel protrudes out a good amount and it curves up a lot. So you have this like rocking motion in the heel, and that feels really great, especially if you're long distance running. Like if you're long distance running, you're gonna go like this, right? If you're sprinting, you're usually just on your toes like this. But long distance running or jogging or whatever, you start with your heel and go like this, and then you propel forward, right? So this is a great shape, especially if you're running. If you're just walking around, it's also great. There's a lot of flex here in the forefoot, and you have a nice curve shape here in the forefoot as well. So heel to toe transition is very smooth, and the cushion is incredible, right? So they're using full-length React. It feels super nice. Even though the Pegasus 37 protrudes out a little bit more in the heel, it's the shape, the overall shape and all that is pretty much the same. And I would say the thickness is the same as well. But the Zoom Fly is Lunarlon, and then when you run this or like just walk around in it, there's a lot of compression and all that. But the thing is, Lunarlon bottoms out, pretty quickly, first of all. Second, it's just soft. There's not a lot of bounce. It doesn't feel like springy or anything. But in the Pegasus 37, the React actually lasts quite a long time. Not saying it doesn't bottom out at all, because all foams eventually do, but this actually feels springy. When you're running, you feel that, spring back, and it feels incredible. And they're using a very, very large volume zoom unit in the forefoot. It is articulated though, and if you remove the insole, you can kind of see the outline of the zoom unit, which is kind of cool, and it feels nice. It's a nice springy bounce in the heel as well as in the forefoot. The forefoot, obviously, it's a little bit bouncier. I'd say it feels pretty similar to like the PG3, but just in a larger area. And the cushioning system is incredible. As you guys all know, I love React cushioning. And if you're running, like I was running in it, it feels very comfortable and springy, like I said. But if you're just walking around casually, if you want to go, like shopping, or if you want to make these your work shoes or whatever, they're the kind of shoes that you can just walk around in all day. It feels like you're walking on clouds, marshmallows, or whatever. Moving on to the materials, they're using a mesh material, and it's pretty similar to like, all of their runners, like the Pegasus 35 and the Zoom Fly. Here in the forefoot, there is a lot of ventilation, so you can't really see my finger through this mesh, maybe just a little bit, but if you blow through it, you can definitely feel the airflow, and ventilation is really good. Your feet are gonna be cool, especially in the summer heat right now. This shoe is really, really nice to walk around in. It's a very, very thin material, just like in all of their like running shoes. It's very soft and pliable. One thing that I don't like is padding in the tongue. Like, look at how thin that tongue is. There's absolutely no padding. It's basically just material and some fuse. Same thing with the Zoom Fly. There's like no padding, and same thing with the Elements. Pegasus 35 had a little bit of padding, which I like, but Nike with their runners, they just really want to shed all that weight off. So they try to do what they can with that. You have a little bit of a heel tab. You know, that's different from the Zoom Fly. The Zoom Fly, I guess it does protrude up a little bit, but it kind of has a better shape. It points up a little bit more, and then you can just put your heel here and then just slide your foot in, kind of just like the Pegasus 35. The Pegasus 37 is super easy to put on. This really thin tongue. It's kind of annoying because like when you're putting your shoe on, it kind of wants to like flap over itself. Like, it doesn't move when you're running or anything because it's attached to like an inner booty, but it just like it flaps in on itself like when you're putting it on, so that's kind of annoying. You gotta adjust it. And moving on to the fit for me was perfect. It was so good, like I didn't even need to like tighten the shoelaces or anything. So I went true to size. It's pretty snug in the toe area. I wouldn't say it's very snug to the point where I was like getting needles or anything and I couldn't feel my foot, but it's pretty snug. And mesh materials like this, they always stretch out, so you should be fine. If it's a little tight, it will stretch out. And as far as the width goes, I would say it's around normal to a slightly narrow. So if you have a wide foot, I would suggest going up half a size. Alright, moving on to the weight. So the Pegasus 37 is probably super light, yeah, 8.32 ounces. Let's check the Elements. 7.34. The Pegasus 35 is 8.18, and the Zoom Fly is super light, coming in at 7.23 ounces. So Nike makes super light runners, and the 37 is no exception. It's a little bit heavier than the other ones. As far as the looks goes, I don't know, not a huge fan of it. It just looks like your basic runner. Not a bad looking shoe, not a horrible looking shoe or anything. So yeah, for 120 bucks, do I recommend it? 100%. This is a very comfortable shoe, and I enjoyed my time with it. Like I said, I feel like if you're a runner, this is a pretty good shoe, but take that with a grain of salt because I'm not like a huge runner or anything. And if you want to wear this casually, 100% do it, especially now since it's hot. So again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. And that concludes my review of the Pegasus 37. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.